Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I roll with it.
Okay.
So I have a question for Henry. Next week we find out that Mac has a brother who's played by Gaius from Friday Night Lights. So can you tell us a little bit about that relationship dynamic?
I think what the writers wanted to do was take an opportunity to show the other side of Shield, because it's kind of like being in the CIA. You can't tell people what you're doing and things of that nature. So we wanted to see the other side, of the personal side of the families that have been left behind, and inevitably it's going to cause strained relationships when you're gone for long periods of time and you're not really forthcoming in what you're doing, that kind of thing. So there's that dynamic there.
And also from the minute they brought this guy on the show, there's been this kind of swell of curiosity about this character. It's become one of the most important characters on the show. Went from being the mechanic who showed up with turned out huge special ops game to that he's the guy that Coulson makes the director when he needs to go off and take care of some business. And I think there's just been a real desire to kind of find out more about the mysterious Mac and where he comes from, and that side of the show has always been really interesting to me, and I don't know, maybe you, which is, how do you have a life? How do you have a family when these people give up something so primary as they don't get to go home at the end of the day? They don't get to have a normal family, so they become each other's family. And in this case, you get to see some of the ways that plays out with their biological families.
With Bobby and Hunter leaving the show, you were kind of like the trio that joined at the beginning of season 2. I feel like there's extra pressure on Mac now, so now you're kind of thrown in with the original Shield people.
No, no pressure. Honestly, I don't feel any pressure. I mean, I really trust the writing, and the writing has been so well done episode to episode. I will say that with Mac, it did feel like with Bobby and Hunter, a family within a family. So now that they're gone, I think he's just a little lost, and I think that's why he
Goes home.
Yeah, you said it. But yeah. I think he's just trying to find that kind of connection.
Okay.
So Coulson's character at the end of the mid-season break, when they leave the planet, he did take a sort of a darker turn in the way that he killed Ward. They could have left him on the planet and gone back. Are we going to see some of the effects of that later on?
Well, he could have left Ward on the planet. As Coulson, I will say only, but several people had already come back from that planet. So to me, that wasn't a locked and thrown away key. But
Right.
It's very porous between me and Phil Coulson at this point, 8 years in. So I might be being kind of defensive as Phil Coulson. Wait, dude. Look, you already see it on his face, I think, from the end of the mid-season finale. You've seen kind of hints of it already. It's a line he doesn't cross. And to me, it's the difference between he and Nick Fury, and that there's, especially the way they crafted it, which I thought was incredible, is that he went from being a functioning company man to a guy who found out that he'd been lied to and had died and was brought back against his will in a project that he recommended no one ever use. And he had a very different feeling about keeping secrets from people and about what kind of director he would be. And that involves really respecting that line. So what I like about the show is that there's things that are going on in the world that suddenly take place in our separate world. And one of them is, if you're the police and you're given special weapons and you're given special rights to use them to protect people, you don't get to just act out on your emotions. You don't get to do that stuff. That's the job you sign up for, is that you have a special public trust and you must be held to a higher standard. And I think he takes that very seriously. And I believe he's very ambivalent about whether it was okay for him to do that. And that's before he even realizes what it is he's unleashed. So it's only going bigger.
Great.
I didn't mean to clap at my own answer. I was just
We'll clap at your answer.
thank you.
We have time for one more question.
Civil War and future movies. Might we see you in any of those again? Or I know you've been asked this before, but I'm gonna try.
Everyone asks me that, and it's really flattering. But it's funny. My focus is really just we're shooting our last 3 episodes of season 3. To me, it's the best season we've done yet.
It is.
It's a very rare thing, I think, that you get a show where the writers and the cast just keep getting deeper and reinventing what they're doing. What we're doing on our show, to me, is its own separate island. I think it's an island that will connect outwards at some point, but I'm really focused on that island. And just I feel lucky enough when I walk into the makeup trailer and there's Henry Simmons, and I get to act with him that day.
And he wouldn't tell you if he was. He wouldn't tell you.
Well, what team are you guys on?
I haven't seen the movie yet. I certainly feel like Coulson leans toward Team Cap and being against. I believe so.
Oh,
I believe, yeah.
I think Mac would be more for
Registration.
Mac, not me, but be more for registration. Yeah, he's just so he trusts. He loves Daisy. He loves her.
But you would be more Cap? Like,
No, I think Iron Man is the one for registration, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
yourself.
you yourself.
Oh, me personally?
But it's so hard to know, I
Right.
know what happened in the comics, but we don't know what leads up. Why are people taking that position
Right.
until we get to see that movie?
It's a different story this time.
Yeah, but it's funny. Again, on our own world, we have Inhumans everywhere, and some of them are quickly being absorbed by Hydra, it seems, and some of them are on our squad. And so there are really different feelings about that within what we're doing. So whatever happens in that movie will change what's going on in our show, I'm sure. But we have a version. We have a little bit of a civil war brewing within our own ranks already.
And I think the one question that carries on from this point forward for the rest of the season is, who can you trust? Who can you trust? You understand it?
Yeah. There was a poker game we used to play backstage when I did this play for a year. We'd play this poker game called Shifting Sands, and there was a way where the wild card would change every time someone turned one over. So everything you think you had, suddenly someone turned over one card and then it's worthless. And then someone turns over another card and then this is a completely different thing. And sometimes it feels like there's Shifting Sands based on the Inhumans that manifest.
Thank you guys.
Well, that was well.